So, spoilers, I guess. But either way, your boy is back, KYLO REN. Well, I mean, not technically KYLO REN is my Sith name. I'm not a bad guy anymore. I'm a good guy. I'm a Jedi now, so I'm just Ben Solo. Wait, no, Ghost Solo. Or should I be Skywalker? Ghost Ben Skywalker. Sky Ben Ghost Walk Low. Or what about just Skolo? Yeah. Skolo. 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 God, that is so stupid. Why do I always have such a hard time with this? You know what? Just Ghost Ben for now, okay? Ghost Ben. Breathe. Breathe, Ghost Ben. Greetings, viewers. It is I, your boy, Ghost Ben. Let's be real here right away. It's been over a month. I realize that. I've been away for a while because the process to become a Jedi Ghost has a little bit more bureaucracy involved in it. Back in the day, you could just become a ghost almost overnight. Grandfather died and was able to show up on time for the Endor party. But now, I think because of Grandfather, there's a little bit more of an approval process. You know, since Grandfather basically... yeah. Because of that, I had to stand in front of the Ghost Jedi Council while they debated my various deeds and actions, whether or not I had done enough good by the end to become a ghost, or if I should just go to Sith prison or wherever they go when they die. I guess they're just bound to planet Exxon, the oil planet where all the evil rich ghosts live. Anyway, I got to meet everyone on the Jedi Council. Yoda was there, Mace Windu, who's just eternally disappointed. He just shook his head the whole time. But he still agreed with everything. But he looked like he didn't agree with anything. That guy is hard to read. There's a guy that had like a balloon head. Guy had an ice cream cone head. There are a lot of head differences between the races. It's mostly the body is the same, but the head is what really separates man from not man. But anyway, after all of that deliberation, they decided that I was in, but under one condition. I agreed to wear this helmet for a probationary ghost period as a reminder of my time as the student of the Sith, which is okay with me because this is, you know, my branding. This is how you recognize me. I don't know if my YouTube channel would be the same without it, so it's a win-win. So what have I been doing? Well, I finally got a chance to talk to Grandfather, which was pretty eye-opening, you know, as opposed to just staring at his helmet and making up conversations in my head. He really laid into me about this whole finishing what he started business. It turns out I had no idea what that meant, because he never really started anything. He just kind of showed up for work every day and just did whatever the Emperor told him to do. There was nothing to really finish there, is what I'm now figuring out. He was the chosen one, which I guess began what he was supposed to finish, but he didn't really do that. He didn't kill Palpatine or balance the Force, or maybe he did. The Jedi had it all wrong, and he balanced the Force in the bad way, because there were just way too many Jedis with weird, strange heads. Did you know there's a Yoda that just has like a wig? And I guess we still don't know what Yoda is, even though he was the head of the Galactic Jedi Council. Being a ghost gives me access to all of time and space, and it's a doorway to infinite knowledge, but we somehow still don't know what Yoda is. He just won't tell us. I don't get it. I think he just thinks it's cool to be mysterious. Let's get into this, though. A lot happened, and now that I'm finished with all of this ghost business, I can present to you my thoughts in this convenient list format, 1 through 10. Let's do it. Number 1, Snoke. Hey, guess what? The guy that I betrayed my master for and learned the dark side from, he's a puppet. He's literally a puppet, just meat filled with the consciousness of another man. Palpatine. That's kind of weird, right? You know how I know that he's a meat puppet? It's because I found a bunch of empty Snokes laying around a lab, like, fully made out of the box with scars and dents in his head and everything. That's just how he was made to look. I don't get it. Was he based on a recipe of someone? Is he like a blueprint, or is he just like an easy-baked Snoke, now with battle damage? Oh, and here's the other reason I know that Snoke is a puppet, because Palpatine told me that he was Snoke. He does it in the Snoke voice, so there's no confusion. So how does that work? Is he just locked in concentration the whole time, just focusing his will to pilot Snoke? Or does he sit in a little VR chamber and do all the moves to make Snoke do the moves? Like, does he just physically have to act out everything that Snoke does? Did he act out Snoke dying? Did he, like, hold his stomach and stick his tongue out and go, "Law!" and then stand up and just go, "Damn it, connection lost"? I mean, I thought I killed Snoke. I was really proud of myself. That was a hard decision, but it was meaningless. I basically just unplugged Palpatine's VR headset, his Google Cardboard. Snoke is the Google Cardboard of Sith Lords. Google Card Lord. Number 2, Palpatine. Yeah, what is that guy's deal? Like, do his plans just suck, or is there something that I'm missing? I'm still trying to figure it out. He's got all these orders. He had Order 66, but then he reset it, like to order the first order was part of the orders, and now it's the final order. His numbering scheme is just really confusing. I don't understand how his PowerPoint on this whole thing would look. Final isn't a number, bro. His people were probably like, "Sir, I am lost. Which order comes first? Is it the one that says first? Nope, Order 66 is first, and then First Order is next." This doesn't make any sense, so that just tells me that he doesn't know what he's doing. He's like the kid that tries a sweet stunt and falls on his face and then stands up and acts like that was all part of the plan the whole time. And the fact that he survived is proof that his plan worked. Where does, like, being thrown down a shaft by grandfather fit into that? Was that Order 5? The answer is no, it's not. He is the Dark Lord of failing and then pretending that that was the plan. He failed to make 2 Death Stars not explode. He failed to not have his apprentice throw him down a shaft. But then he pretends that that is the plan. That was the plan the whole time, to achieve immortality. I guess being thrown down a shaft by your most trusted disciple is an ability that some might consider unnatural. He has become a true master of this failed technique. He somehow has built an entire cult around it, and they have no problem going along with whatever his failed plan leads to next. They're really psyched to watch Rey kill him and assume his power, but then when that doesn't work out, they're just equally as psyched for him to kill her and just still be the powerful one on the throne. What do these guys believe in? What is their belief system? I had a really hard time figuring that out. But forget all of that. You know the real reason that I know he has no idea what he's doing? Just look at him. Is that the face of a man with a plan? He's a corpse with a butt face. He looks like garbage. His fingernails are all gnarled and gross, and you know what? He stinks. I don't know if you could tell that from looking, but he smells like mothballs and old meat. I couldn't even... You think that I was forced to put the mask back on. I actually requested that. Evil is just not a cologne that you want to wear ever. Like, how did that guy convince anyone to have kids with him? Ugh, I just pictured it, now I hate myself. Palpatine sucks, and he always sucked. And you know what? I knew that immediately, which is why I made the decision on the spot to betray this dude. My mouth said, yeah, let's do this, but my brain was like, you're gross, you're a mess. Nothing you're saying is making sense. Every move I make is going to be a step towards betraying you. I'm not even going to hide the fact And you're gonna be suspicious of me the whole time, and it's not gonna matter, because you're just stuck on that death planet being hoisted around like the worst prize in a toy crane machine. Because you suck. And your only plan to keep tabs on me was Order 7011 be the Knights of Ren. Those boys, what is their deal? Honestly, I don't know. This is supposed to be my crew, but I'm not sure what they do. Do they have power? Or are they just industrial music enthusiasts? Are they steampunk? I don't know. I was very confused by the whole thing. They look like they want to be Sith Lords, but they all just use like medieval weapons. And what is their mandate? They're called the Knights of Ren, and that's me. I don't know if they're my babysitters or if they're my fan club. But either way, they seem pretty useless. They didn't do much. The only thing they did was tried to kick my ass, and look how that turned out for them. But now that I'm thinking about it, there's this weird moment when we walked by some stormtroopers and they were like, whoa, the Knights of Ren, cool. How did those guys even know anything about the Knights of Ren? Do they have like a reputation or like an Instagram account that I should know about? I wouldn't have been mad at a few more details, but a couple of stormtroopers saying that the Knights of Ren are cool is enough for me to know for a fact that the Knights of Ren are cool. I need no further information or backstory. That's it. Just have those two guys brazenly tell me that the Knights of Ren are cool, and that's good enough. Number 4, teleportation. So when I decided to finally I had enough of the Knights of Ren and I just beat him down so hard, teleportation was the key. Rey literally fast-traveled a lightsaber into my hands through the power of our new connection. We discovered a new power. If you think back far enough, you remember when Rey and I were having our first connections using the Force, and I got wet. Originally, I thought it was a mental projection of our psychic bond, like the dice that Luke left behind to mess with me. Yeah, they disappeared. I thought it was just they weren't real, it was an illusion. But it turns out this water, that was real water. Like, I could have rinsed my face with it. I could have had it analyzed by my science guys, and they would have been like, damn, Kylo, this is Acto seawater. How is this possible? You gotta tell me your secret. And I'm like, the secret is love, bro. With these powers, the possibilities are limitless. We could pretty much teleport anything. We teleported a fight onto each other. We teleported a bunch of stuff in the room that we were fighting in. What if I needed help moving into Rey's apartment when we lived together? We could just link up and I could just hand her my boxes and my clothes. That's how I was able to kick the Knights of Ren's asses. They thought they had me, but I was like a stage magician, just hands in the air like, look, check it out, nothing in my hands. And then whoops, what's that? Lightsaber, boom, exit Knights of Ren. We hardly knew ye. I've been thinking about this a lot lately, and hold on a second, let me just try something. Rey, hear me, and believe in me. Yes! Yes! God, are you kidding me? Did you see that? Did you see what I just did? Do you have any idea what just happened? I don't think you do. Let me explain it to you. I used my connection with Rey to teleport the memory of my physical body back into existence. Boom! Immortality. Suck it, Darth Plagueis, the idiot. I've got ghost powers and a body. Yes! Looks like I've become the master of abilities that some might find to be unnatural. Number 5, Luke's legacy. So you might remember that time that I got punked pretty hard by Luke. He pulled off something that made the First Order look pretty bad. and it could have lit a fire that would spark rebellion against us. But I guess nobody gave a shit. Luke and I have been kind of catching up. You know, we squashed our beef. We're both just living that ghost life, why not? No hard feelings, you know? I was surprised to hear that he's kind of bummed about how everything played out for him, you know? He was this big hero at a young age, and I think he may have peaked. That whole Death Star thing was his last big showstopper, and then he just really couldn't follow it up with anything after that. You know, he tried to make some new Jedi, and that didn't work out too well for him. Some of that was my bad, though, for sure. And then he sort of quit believing in himself, so he just sort of faded away into full-time pouting, just shuffling around with milk in his beard. But then something cool happened. He turned it around, you know? He got a second chance to become this legend, and he did something that, you know, in hindsight, I thought was really cool. He got me. I thought I was ready for him, you know? He got in my head, though, and he just used all those bad feelings I had for him against me, and he just made me look like an ass out there on the salt sea. It was appropriate, too, because I was salty. I was real salty. I was throwing mad fits. I smashed a lot of expensive stuff. Killed a bunch of guys. I'm not proud of my behavior, but he did what he joked about. He faced the whole First Order with his laser sword, and he kind of made us look like idiots, you know, and that just showed this rebellion that it just takes one person to stand up to us and inspire everyone else to join, you know, and we were worried about that. We thought it was like, damn, if word about this gets out, they're not going to be afraid of us. Well, our reputation was about to take a dub. Thankfully, I guess word didn't get out. Like, nobody cared. Everyone was still just kind of doing their own thing. No new rebellion, no new Jedi, no broom kids coming out of the woodwork with their magic cleaning. And Luke was like, damn, dude, did I just die for nothing? So I got a feel for the guy. He did a really cool thing, took a lot of power. He invented some new tricks. Both of us are just out here just spitting new game, and nobody cares. It's a real bummer, especially when you consider what it did take to get everybody inspired, which was just Lando. That's all it took to get everybody off their asses and take down the First Order. A galaxy-wide tour of Lando and Chewie, probably just seducing everything in sight. They were all, damn, Lando, you rocked my world. I'll do anything for you. I'd die for you. Let's go. Let's just move on to number 6. Dagger puzzles. Wow. I guess Palpatine was a really big fan of Myst or something, because that was interesting. I'll say interesting because I'm a nice guy now. Like, that's information that you want your guys to have, right? You want your disciples to know the location of your secret base so they can all make it to the arena for game day or whatever. So, is there just one dagger and they all have to share it? Or do they just pass it around? Or does one of them just solve the dagger puzzle and then email all the other guys? But there's only one wayfinder that we have to share it, so let's all just make sure we're at the ride share on time so that we can all go to Exxon together. The dagger itself, although is a stabbing tool, it was not meant to be used to stab, even though it did stab, and it contains the memories, you know, the important memories of said stabbings. There's a protractor hidden in the thing, I guess. Some surveying equipment inside the dagger. I'm still not sure how that stuff works. That's a perspective puzzle. If she had been standing on any other part of the island, it wouldn't have pointed at anything. I feel like she needed at least one coordinate to stand on. Like, this is basic stuff. Even the Goonies got this right. But I know what you armchair Jedis are going to say. You're going to say, you know what, the Force put her on that spot. And you know what? You're probably right. Because through the Force, all things are possible, including me coming back to life and just being real again. And that's also how I'm going to teleport my new mixtape directly into Ray's CD player. Speaking of mixtape, I gotta remember to include an updated remix of my Raylo song, because I understand some things now that I didn't when I wrote it. So let's move on. Number 7. Mom and Dad. You know, once Ray healed me and showed me the power of forgiveness and empathy, you know, I had a really good conversation with my own memory of my father, and it was enough to give me the strength I needed to cast aside my old ways. But that dude's gone. Like, that's all it was a memory, you know? The weirdest thing about being with all these Force ghosts, I've got grandfather, I've got Luke, mom is here, but dad is just, he's gone. He's wherever regular people go when they die. That memory was dope, but that's all I got. I can't really tell him I'm sorry, you know, yeah. It's all good though, you know, Mom and I talked about it, and she was like, your dad was really tired. He was I think he was sort of hoping that that's how things went down, so in a lot of ways you did him a favor. I think Mom's just being nice, you know, because she's a good mom, but she still busts my chops a little bit though. She makes fun of my mask sometimes. You know who really makes fun of my mask though? Grandfather. He's just like, you know, I wear my mask because I needed to. I had physical handicaps that required mechanical assistance. You're just wearing a costume. And he's not wrong. You know, looking back, I was a huge poser, but he's just having his fun. I wish he'd stop, but I get it. I deserve it. So Dad's gone. That sucks, but they assure me that he's doing all right wherever he is. I think maybe they're just lying to me to make me feel better. I don't think they know. The secrets of the universe are vast. We're all learning all the time. Like, they didn't know I could teleport things, so... Speaking of these Force ghosts, you know what they do? You know what they like to do? Number 8. They like to watch. And I'm talking about what you think I'm talking about. Like that celebration at the end of the day, you know, the good guys won on Exegol and they all got together and partied. Guess what? That got real not safe for work. You could already see it happening, but you know who really saw it happen? The Jedi Council. Like, all of them. They were all there in spirit, just checking it out, with creepy smiles on their faces. You didn't get to see it because, you know, it was very tastefully presented, but it was very suggestive. Never before has there been so much implied sexually charged energy in a victory celebration. And nobody with omnipresent ghost powers is going to miss out on that. Alright, number 9. This is a lightning round. This is just going to be a bunch of random thoughts. First one. I know Luke and I are boys now and everything, but I still got to give him a little static about that X-Wing. Did you fix the X-Wing with the Force? Is that part of your new powers? Small vehicle repair? Horses. Use them. Bad guys can't deal with nature. The Empire couldn't defeat the Ewoks, and the First Order has no defense against horses. The Millennium Falcon rescued Finn, and then did it just take off vertically while he was still on the outside of it? His grip strength must be impressive. Finn's big deathbed secret. Was he in love with Rey? Does he have the Force? Nope. He just felt really bad about the time he farted and then blamed it on Chewbacca. You know what Finn should feel really bad about? Running down the hallway and just shooting stormtroopers in the face, when he could have just easily put on a disguise and snuck around. First of all, that's just really bad strategy. Like, how do you not get caught? And second of all, does he not think for a second that there's other stormtroopers like him that might be having second thoughts about what they're doing? And he does actually find a group of similar like-minded ex-stormtroopers later. So it kind of makes me wonder how he sleeps at night now. Am I being too hard on Finn? I think I might be a little too hard on Finn. Let's talk about Poe for a second. Why is he so mad at everybody all the time? He takes a dump on Rey for trying to practice her Force powers, but he watched her save their lives by moving a bunch of rocks out of the way with her mind. And has Poe ever seen anything like that? Has he ever seen someone move something with their mind? I mean, to that degree. Can't faze Poe. He's just going to be mad at you for not flying around with him on a ship instead of working on your completely impossible abilities that may come in handy once again and actually do eventually save everyone. Yeah, Poe clearly learned a lot. Big change from that guy. This stuff's kind of bumming me out, you know. I've transcended, so I'm just trying to stay positive. Let's just move on to number 10, the most important takeaway from this whole thing, which is Reylo. That's right. You guys hated on me for it. Turns out I was correct the whole time. Me and Rey got it on, baby. We totally got to first base. I knew it was gonna happen. I wrote a song about how it was gonna happen. And, And I died, yeah. Which I also called. That kiss was so good it straight up killed me. It was everything I ever wanted. There was no reason to live after that. Promise you, you've never been kissed like that. Have you ever been kissed so good that you died? Where your passion is so hot that one of you dies, and you're just like taking turns bringing each other back to life? This is the greatest love story ever told. The love story in which the bad guy is totally redeemed and then does not say a single word about it after he converts. He's not about talking anymore. He's just about kicking asses and making out. You know, I mentioned earlier how I was going to remix the Raylo track with updated lyrics, but since I exist across all time and space simultaneously, I already did it. So here it is. I'm just going to leave this with you. The hot new, updated, correct version of Raylo. I'm out, guys. That's it for me. Peace, love, and harmony. You know, all that good guy stuff that I'm all about now. And just, and like, share, subscribe. Things that you should keep in mind forever. Hey girl, I'm reaching out to you. The force is strong and I can see